Hi guys, it's Fabulous Friday and you're with Amy today, and this week we're talking about having patience with recovery and what to do if you felt you've hit a certain stage in your recovery where you're not really doing amazingly well but you're not really failing either, and sometimes maybe your mind's telling you to do a little bit of a setback. Okay, so one of the things that I have come up with, a lot of people when they're in recovery from an eating disorder have the common feelings when they reach like a certain stage of being at a healthy weight, but they're not entirely recovered. They're still slightly struggling, but they're doing better than they were. If it's taken quite a long time, they'll often stop and think to themselves, but I should be better by now. You know, people who I've seen been in recovery, they've done it for like, they recovered in like 4 years, they recovered in like this X amount of time, and you know, you would constantly tell yourself, well, I should be better by now, so I might as well just fail again. And you shouldn't be telling yourself that, because, you know, everybody has different methods and ways of recovering. Every person's different. Not everybody is going to be react in the same way to a recovery process. Some people could probably take like a couple of years, some people it could take 10. You know, everybody is different, but it's like your attitude and like the way that you like strive yourself to continue with the recovery process, and try not to let any negative feelings hold you back that allow you to recover. It's not, oh, but she's better than me, therefore she recovered quicker. It's not about that at all. It's about your attitude towards it, your motivation and your desire to get better. And obviously, like, a lot of people have that desire, like everybody, the majority of people will have that, you know, desire to get better anyway. But yeah, try and eliminate those negative thoughts as soon as they come into your head. You know, I should be better by now. You know, that is, you know, an impatient attitude, and only would lead you to go back to your negative, you know, ways of coping, such as maybe not eating or binging and purging. Is in regard to patience. Everything in life takes patience, and today I'm actually not going to just apply it to eating disorders, but I'm going to use like a little metaphor. If you look at everything, like something big that you've achieved in your life, and I came up with the examples of exams, you know, school exams, getting exam results, getting a really good job that you're happy with and that, you know, you strived really hard to work for. Maybe if you're an athlete, winning a race or something like that. Stop and think about it. Something big you achieved, and none of those, you know, happened overnight. You know, you can't get 100% or an A in an English exam overnight. It takes patience with the revision, and it takes perseverance. You can't, you know, get up one day and just run a 100-metre race and win it straight away. You have to practice. You have to be patient with the practicing. It's the same with getting a job. You have to go through all the shit to get to the good place. Now, I'm going to use those examples as a reason why you should persevere with eating disorder recovery, because going through, you know, recovery isn't a walk in the park, and I think a lot of people think it is, and it's not. It's full of, as Felicia was saying, hills and bumps and and obstacles and things that want to stop you because it's a mental illness, and things are going to want to get in your way because it's a mental disease. You know, things are going to try and stop you, are going to try and get in your way. And the reason why I used those other achieving things in your life was because just think about how happy you felt after that. Think about how happy, I mean, I know, for example, for me, I know how happy I was. 100% in an English exam is something that I never thought possible, but with a lot of patience and a lot of perseverance, for some reason, at the end of it, I got that. I spent ages trying to get a job and got a job. I'm not exactly an athlete, so I can't exactly say I've won a race or anything, but the good things that have happened to me in my life have taken a lot of perseverance. And I probably am not in the right place at the moment to talk about eating disorders in that respect, but in regard to depression, I've definitely improved a lot with a lot of perseverance. I've got to admit, I did feel there was a time period that I had to get better. I've been given 6 months off school at the moment, and I guess there was a pressure for me to get better in those 6 months, because I thought, well, if I'm not better, then I can't go back to school ever. Like, that was just in my head. But luckily I have got a lot better in those last 6 months. But, you know, I think people also think that there's a time limit on recovery, and there isn't. You recover in your own time. You do whatever it takes. Take as long of a process as you want, but as long as you're doing it your way, and as long as you're doing it the correct way. Keep with the therapy, keep with the, like, anything that you're using at the moment to make yourself, you know, happier. You need to persevere with that until you know you're in a place where you're happy. And, you know, don't set yourself unrealistic time limits, don't set yourself goals, because I know I did that, and that's not the best way to go about things. You know, 6 months is not a long time at all. It's hard because a lot of people have stressful lives, they've got stressful jobs, they've got things that they feel they need to recover for, but you need to put yourself into the context. You need to look after number one, and that is you. You need to think, you know, how much happier and healthier I'm going to be after I'm fully free of the eating disorder, and I can go on to enjoy my job and my family and my friends and my career. If you also look back as well to how things were, if you ever feel like you're at a stage where you want to resort back to your eating disorder behaviours, just kind of reflect back and think, just think of life when you were struggling with your eating disorder. Think about how much pain you were in, how much pain you were suffering. You know, eating disorder is not a walk in the park again, it's not a fun thing to do, it's not a great situation to be in. Just think of the pain you were feeling when you were suffering. And even maybe you've reached a stage in your recovery, and like a plateau, it's like a lot better than you were. And think about how you don't want to return to that place. And hopefully that should motivate you to keep, like, encourage yourself to keep going and keep persevering with recovery. Because every time I think, in regard to depression, every time I start to have negative thoughts, and I did yesterday, and I hadn't felt that bad in a long time, and I literally was lying in bed all day, and I kind of tried to remind myself of what I was like this time last October, November, how much of a deep despair I was in, and how much that I had to look forward to, the positives in my life that I've got to look forward to. And that kind of encouraged me to keep going and keep persevering. You know, I'm returning to education next week, which is a huge step for me, and I keep thinking to myself, I'm returning to education next week. That's something to be amazingly happy about, and like so positive for. And yeah, hopefully that should kind of motivate you. And also think of the amazing opportunities that you can have when you are recovered, and that should also motivate you. Think of all the opportunities you can have. You know, you can live a healthier, happier life. You know, you might be even free of therapy. You might you know, be able to enjoy a life where it isn't centered around food and weight. And if you have patience, knowing that you will get to that stage, then you will get to it. You need to keep telling yourself that you can as well. Like, you can't have, I mean, obviously a lot of people with negative disorders, eating disorders, will consistently have negative thoughts in their head telling them that they can't. But you have to have I can in your head. And I know it's hard, and I know it's not easy, but it's the best way, honestly. You have to, even if you're having the shittiest day and you don't feel confident at all in what you're doing, just tell yourself that you can. I can do this. I have a future. Fuck it. I deserve to have a future. Sorry about the swearing today, guys. I'm in one of those moods. you know, I deserve to have a future. Why shouldn't I have a future? I'm a human being just like everybody else, and no matter how long it's going to take me to recover, I'm going to do it. I am, and I can. And I guess that's how you can be patient with recovery. Because as I say, you can't compare yourself to other people in regard to recovery processes. Because people are different. That's like comparing yourself to people in exams, you know, people comparing it, like somebody else got an A in this exam and I only got a B. But then you say, fuck it, I'm going to get an A next time. They've recovered like in 2 years, and 3 years on I'm still here. Well, fuck it, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to work hard at this. And that's that motivation you have to have. I know eating disorders are a mental health illness and it's a lot different than getting an A in the exam, but that's one of the metaphors and, like, you know, different things that I came up with to kind of explain my point. If you think of something big that you've achieved in your life, you didn't get there without patience and perseverance, and you didn't get there without working hard, and you didn't get there without a struggle. Certainly, like, exams and everything like that are struggles. They really, really are, and you can't get there just, you know, as simple as a click of the fingers. It's really, really hard. Just have that attitude, and that the right attitude, that you can achieve recovery. I can is the best. I mean, I even have it written on my, you won't be able to see it, but I actually have it written on my board every time I'm having a stage where I want to revert back. I tell myself that I can. You know, why shouldn't I be able to recover as well? A lot of people, you need to think also, why shouldn't I be able to recover? What's so different about me in comparison to another person that makes me not worthy? Nothing. You can even list things, list reasons why you need to recover. Make lists. Lists are really, really good. When life seems like an uphill struggle, just think of the view from the top. And that's the quote I'm going to leave you with this week. I will see you guys next week for the next Friday video, and I hope that I'm doing my job on the channel to give you guys good advice and help when you need it. Okay, so yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.